Then we met out in the moonlight, the stars were shining in your eyes. What another love there too.
Today we have the 3 groups that make up the Rock Creek Partnership have solicited volunteers to help them go out and plant trees along Rock Creek. And Water Environment Services is the funding agency, so we are funding the majority of this event. They are going to be either planting trees and shrubs along the stream at 3 different sites, or taking care of trees and shrubs that were planted over the last couple of years by volunteers also. The 3 organizations that make up the Rock Creek Partnership are Friends of Trees, Clackamas River Basin Council, and Solve. And the 3 of them actually got together and decided to do this without even Wes prompting them. Although we fund their activities, we were funding them to work separately, and they decided that if they worked together cooperatively, that they felt they could get more done. We thought that was a great idea, and we said, yeah, we're going to fund this project.
Big shout out to Scott and Sherry Pendarvis, who have hosted this event for 3 years running now.
It's been extremely helpful for us to eradicate some of the invasive species. The knotweed, for instance, it just sort of came on pretty fast in the last 6 years. It took over a large area and kept spreading. It was beyond us to try to figure out how to get rid of it. And the group came and did that for us, which is a wonderful thing. I've learned what some of the bad plants are that I wouldn't have known about had I not been educated by the partnership.
Okay, well, here we are this morning at the Doss Farm in Damascus, Oregon. This is a project site that Friends of Trees has been working on for about 2.5 years now. We first came in a couple summers ago and got to work on the blackberry, and now we are here in our second planting season, planting 900 shrubs today. Native shrubs, shrubbing up the riparian corridor to follow on our 825 native trees that went in last winter.
Rock Creek is right now in kind of a rural and agricultural setting, the majority of it. Part of it is urbanized, but not the whole thing. And we know that in the future, urbanization is coming to this watershed. Don't know how long that's going to take, but that is what is slated. That's in the plans to happen in the future. So we would really like to get a vegetated buffer along the stream before that happens, so that we can have something in place to protect water quality and habitat in the creek.
We are spreading mulch on trees, and over there we are separating mulch from the stems so that the wood doesn't rot away and kill the plants.
This area was largely impacted by invasive plants, and there was no access for wildlife into the creek because of the presence of the blackberry and the reed canary grass. Landowner actually this morning told me that there used to be ducks in the creek and that he hasn't seen them in years, and since we've gotten rid of the reed canary grass and the blackberry, this was the first year he's seen them in multiple years. So that's always nice to hear that you're making those impacts. We've planted a mix of native trees and shrubs. The controlling factors would be shade and water tolerances for those native plants. So in the wetter full sun areas, we've planted some Oregon ash, Pacific 9-bark, and spirea. And in the more shady areas, we've planted dogwood and some red cedar.
I worked for the Oregonian for more than 30 years now, and when I first moved here, there wasn't much being done about the Clackamas or any of the watersheds anywhere in the state, especially in and around the Portland area. But in the last 10 years or so, there's been an increased awareness, especially in Clackamas County, and you're a big part of that. over watershed health and water, and it's the issue of the future. And it's just, the more we can teach these kids about what's going on here, the better off everyone will be in the future, including my grandchildren.
We're working here because we're trying to restore the watershed. And this site in particular is, we started with the nursery. The nursery reached out to us and said they had a very strong erosion on the bank. They had very eroded in size banks. Some of their facilities were close to the edge of the stream. They were having a lot of difficulties with it. And could we help them so as the plants grow along the banks and stabilize it, that silt and sand and dirt doesn't go into the streams. It changes the stream turbidity, it changes water quality as the plants grow over the stream. You also get shade, changes the temperature dynamics. Change in temperature in streams is very important here for wildlife.
So we've seen it change, and really feel so grateful that this exists, that the program exists to restore watershed. Water is the future. It's more important than oil, you know. It's gotta have clean water to drink. I would recommend to property owners to get involved, find out what the plants are that need to be removed, and get the help to remove them, because it benefits the entire region.